We will deepen our attacks on terror infrastructure both above and below ground and sever the population's dependence on Hamas. We are not waiting. We have begun the preliminary actions and initial stages of the offensive on Gaza City, and already now IDF forces are holding the outskirts of Gaza City. Good evening. This evening, I would like to update you on the activities of IDF forces in the various sectors. Alongside the fighting in the Gaza Strip, we continue our defensive and offensive operations on the borders with Lebanon, Syria, and in Judea and Samaria. In addition, we continue to monitor developments in Iran. The IDF is engaged in a multi-front campaign. We are acting and will continue to act to protect our citizens on all borders. Even now, IDF forces continue to fight throughout the Gaza Strip and on the outskirts of Gaza City as part of Operation Gideon's Chariots. Earlier today, fighters from the Kafir Brigade thwarted a terrorist attack against a brigade outpost in southern Khan Yunis. The soldiers spotted more than 15 terrorists emerging from a tunnel shaft and opened fire, including RPG fire directed at the forces. In the battle that developed around the outpost, our forces repelled the terrorists. The soldiers repelled the terrorists. The soldiers closed in and opened fire on the terrorists. The forces conducted the battle in cooperation with a tank unit, which isolated the area along with aerial support. During the battle, 9 terrorists were eliminated. We estimate that additional terrorists were injured in the strike. Some of the terrorists' bodies can be seen lying outside the outpost's embankments. In the same incident, several terrorists entered a nearby building where our forces were located. The terrorists were eliminated. We are investigating how this was possible and will draw the necessary lessons. During the fighting in this incident, a soldier was seriously wounded. From here, I wish him a speedy recovery. In accordance with the directive of the political echelon, and after the plans were approved by the Chief of Staff, the IDF has begun the next phase of the campaign, Phase B of Operation Gideon's Chariots. The concentration of forces in Gaza City was made possible thanks to the achievements of Operation Gideon's Chariots. Hamas today is not the same Hamas as it was before the operation. From a military terrorist organization, it has been reduced to a battered and bruised guerrilla group. We will intensify our strikes against Hamas in Gaza City, the governmental and military stronghold of the terrorist organization. We will deepen our attacks on terror infrastructure both above and below ground and sever the population's dependence on Hamas. We are not waiting. We have begun the preliminary actions and initial stages of the offensive on Gaza City, and already now IDF forces are holding the outskirts of Gaza City. The brigade combat teams of the Nahal Brigade and the 7th Brigade, under the command of the 99th Division, are operating on the ground in the Zaytun neighborhood on the outskirts of Gaza City. This fighting has already achieved results. In recent days, our forces have located an underground tunnel in which weapons were found inside Gaza City. Another effort by the Givati Brigade combat team, under the command of the 162nd Division, is maneuvering in the village of Jabalia. Additional forces will join the fighting soon. As part of building the infrastructure for continued operations, we are also carrying out humanitarian efforts. The coordinator of government activities in the territories is leading a civilian effort aimed at adapting the infrastructure in the southern Gaza Strip to accommodate the expected population that will be evacuated. We continue to allow aid to the residents of the Strip and are even expanding it. We will establish additional aid distribution centers. This method will sever the population's dependence on Hamas. In order to minimize harm to civilians, the IDF will warn the population and allow them to evacuate from maneuvering areas for their protection. As part of the preparations for the next stage, the Chief of Staff has ordered the issuance of 60,000 reserve call-up orders for early September. In addition to these orders, we will issue about 20,000 more call-up orders for reservists already serving in the battalions today. At the same time, we are preparing with additional regular forces. They will form the basis for the next stage's operations. We place utmost importance on balancing the burden placed on the combat forces, both regular and reserve. We continue to work to create the conditions for the return of the hostages and to ensure that Hamas does not retain the terror capabilities it once had. The Southern Command is working shoulder to shoulder with the hostages and missing persons headquarters. I am aware of the many concerns that arise regarding the next stage of the fighting. The hostages are constantly on our minds. We will continue to act professionally and objectively, carry out our missions responsibly, and implement the optimal operational method we have developed, just as we did in Rafah, Khan Yunis, Beit Hanun, and other locations in the Gaza Strip. All of this, every single aspect and detail, has been meticulously defined for us. This comprehensive definition, which encompasses various facets and implications, has been clearly articulated and established. It provides a foundational understanding, outlining the parameters and boundaries within which we operate. The clarity and precision of this definition are paramount, ensuring that there is no ambiguity or misunderstanding regarding the subject matter. This framework, as it has been presented and explained to us, serves as a guiding principle, informing our perspectives and actions. The process by which this definition was formulated and subsequently communicated to us has been thorough and deliberate, ensuring its accuracy and relevance. Therefore, we can confidently proceed with the knowledge that all pertinent information has been thoroughly delineated and made accessible, allowing for a complete and accurate comprehension of the subject at hand. This established understanding is crucial for navigating the complexities and nuances associated with the topic, providing a reliable reference point for all future considerations and discussions. The very essence of what we are discussing has been laid out with such clarity and detail that it leaves no room for misinterpretation, serving as a cornerstone for our collective understanding and future endeavors. Regarding the third part, as I said earlier, look, the event ended not long ago. It is still ongoing and we are still investigating. We will study it and improve wherever improvement is needed.
And regarding my last question,
you can repeat it.
How did the terrorists manage to reach the entrance of the shelter?
So as I said, the terrorists emerged from a tunnel, as I presented earlier. Our forces identified them, opened fire on them, and eliminated some of them. We saw images of their bodies lying outside the shelter. There are additional photos as well. In addition to that, more terrorists, another terrorist cell, entered the building where our forces were located. A battle broke out. The terrorists fled and were eliminated, and we will investigate how this happened.
Noiben Artsy, Channel 24. You mentioned that you are operating according to the political echelon, but doesn't the plan approved by the Minister of Defense to take control of Gaza City endanger the lives of the hostages being held there? And how does the IDF intend to act to prevent harm to the hostages?
Well, I'll repeat and say this because it's very important for us to emphasize. The hostages are always at the forefront of our minds. This isn't just a slogan, it's real. From the last soldier to the first soldier in the Gaza Strip, and from the highest ranking commanders operating in Gaza, from the head of the command and down, the hostages are always at the forefront of their minds. Ask any soldier in the Gaza Strip what he's doing there. He's there to bring back the hostages and of course to dismantle Hamas. Hamas will not be able to survive there the day after. We won't be able to live in the communities surrounding Gaza as long as Hamas controls the Strip, and that will not happen. We will bring them down. Now, having said that, we are working in full coordination with the hostages and missing persons headquarters, led by Nitzan Alon. We are employing intelligence capabilities and many other resources, and we, and the families, need to know that we will do our utmost not to harm the hostages.
Andana, Channel 13 News. You say you do your best, but can the IDF ensure no hostages be harmed in Gaza City?
I will say again, as I have said before, we will do our utmost. We will use all the means at our disposal to avoid harming the hostages.
Or Hadar Wynett and Yedioth Ahronoth. Defense Minister Israel Katz said this morning that Operation Gideon's Chariots led to the defeat of Hamas. If that's the case, why is there a need for another operation to defeat Hamas? And what, in your view, is the measure of Hamas's defeat? And another question. We reported that the IDF is preparing to set up hospitals in the Gaza Strip. Where in the Strip do you intend to establish them? Who will operate them? Will it be Israeli doctors and soldiers?
First, I will address the first part of the question. Operation Gideon's Chariots achieved its objectives, and even beyond that. Today, the IDF controls about 75% of the Gaza Strip with almost complete control. We have destroyed Hamas's infrastructure, almost all of it both above and below ground, thoroughly and systematically. Hamas has nowhere left to return to. Hamas has been defeated in every place where the IDF operated. This does not mean that there won't be guerrilla cells that occasionally emerge from various places, but Hamas as an organization has been defeated everywhere the IDF has operated. In addition to that, its chain of command has been destroyed, and many terrorists have been eliminated. Over 2,000 terrorists, with names and ID numbers that we know for certain were neutralized in this operation, Chariots of Gideon. This created the conditions for entering Gaza City and focusing the effort now on the city itself, in order to deepen the blow and defeat Hamas in Gaza City as well, just as we did in other areas. That is the answer to this question. Was there another question?
Yes. We announced that the IDF is preparing to establish hospitals in the Gaza Strip. Where in the Strip do you intend to establish them? Who will operate them, and will there be Israeli doctors and soldiers?
The coordinator of government activities in the territories is currently investing efforts, together with international organizations, both in giving advance notice to hospitals in Gaza City to evacuate, to prepare for evacuation, and also to set up medical solutions, along with other solutions such as sanitation, water, and food in the places where the population is expected to evacuate to, such as the central camps, Al-Mawasi, and others. Another example is the operation at the European hospital in the south of the Strip, to prepare it. I remind you that we exposed a tunnel, a command tunnel. There, very senior Hamas commanders were also eliminated underneath the European hospital. The hospital was almost not damaged. We will work together with international organizations to prepare it. It will be operated by various organizations, and there will be other solutions as well. I don't want to mention specific solutions here. We will present them later when they are planned, but the COGAT is working extensively on solutions for the population that will arrive in these areas and on all the civilian and humanitarian aspects.
Noah Limoni, Haaretz newspaper. I want to follow up on my colleague's question and reiterate. The objectives of Operation Gideon's Chariots were the defeat of Hamas, operational control over the area, demilitarization of the territory, undermining Hamas's rule, concentrating and moving the population, and returning the hostages. Hamas, however, has not been defeated. Just today there was an attack on a post in Khan Yunis, so the area is not demilitarized and the hostages have not been returned. So why should Operation Gideon's Chariots 2 succeed in achieving its objectives?